Welcome back to Journey with Jeff and part 3 and the conclusion of our challenge to complete over 500 miles in under 12 hours. When we left off, the weather was absolutely rubbish, and there was a little bit of get there-itis kicking in. And when that happens, it's just time to take a break. So let's rejoin the adventure right here.
Okay, had to stop here for a second. Check out the view. You can kind of see the straits out there, but it's pretty. And somewhere out there is the bridge, and somewhere right over there is Hessel, where we're going. And the bike's, gotta say, been good. Been really good. Comfortable too. Gosh, is it comfortable. Alright. It seems like it's just going to be this sprinkling stuff the rest of the way, so I'm going to leave the camera on. And we should be at the bridge. Oh yeah, it's going to do that. We should be at the bridge here pretty soon. These gloves, oh my gosh. They're winter gloves. They're not meant to, I thought they might be waterproof. They are not. Yeah, so the bridge is right over there somewhere. You probably could see it if it wasn't raining. But hey, that's all right. Andiamo. Gosh, terrible shifts by me. So what did I say? Drizzling? Immediately it's right back to this shit. Of course. As soon as I put the camera on. Well, I hope it's okay. I can feel it. You can feel the home stretch. It's close. 500 miles, 513. We'll see. I think I was at 1510 when I left. Rough, maybe a little less than that because I checked it on the freeway. Left at 8:30, about 8:38 I left. So I've been on the road for a while. But if we make it to Hessel before 8:38, hey, the Thirsty Bar looks pretty good. But anyway, yeah, it's, man, good trip. Good trip. But there were some really nice views of the shore. It was really pretty. It really reminded me of the North Shore of Lake Superior, like going from Duluth up into Canada. But yeah, that's a really beautiful section of road all the way up to, you go past like Baptism River, and there's lots of little towns and cabins and places to camp. It's pretty amazing. But this reminds me of that. Maybe also it reminds me of that because when I did that in 2017 with my friend Jason, like this, it was pouring down rain. So there's that. Yeah, this is some real rain here. Jeez, oh Pete's. But it should not be more than probably 20 minutes to the bridge. What the hell are we even looking at right now? A Pontiac Grand Am on a rainy road. In the middle of nowhere town called Charlevoix. No, Sheboygan. Not Charlevoix. Sheboygan. Sounds bouncy. Boing, boing, Sheboygan.
Things are getting closer to the end, and they're starting to get a little slap happy.
Erasing from memory and gone. Alright. Like your gold wheels there, sir? Also enjoy a black machine with the gold accents. Alright, turning this off.
Hello there. Made it to Rogers City is where we're at right now. It got real wet for a little bit, but then it did stop for a while. And now it's kind of just misting a little bit now. But anyway, got another snack, and the bridge is about 60 miles from here. So yeah, maybe an hour to the bridge, and then probably a half hour to Hessel, where I'm going. I'm meeting up with a friend. So, yeah, the end is in sight. It is supposed to absolutely pour buckets for this next part, so I'm going to put the camera away again, just so it doesn't get too soaked. But yeah, I think I'll take it out for the bridge. If it's not, you know, even if it is just buckets and hail, like, who doesn't want to see like a hailstorm on the Mackinac Bridge and an idiot on his motorcycle? Hopefully not that bad. But yeah, probably be the next thing you see. See ya.
There we go. Beachcomber. Probably because there's a beach somewhere. Somewhere here there's the Mackinac Bridge. These people were working hard. No, this works. We'll just kind of cut through the town of Mackinac City. Mackinac City. Mackinac City. I don't know why that sounds to me like Spatula City. Spatula City. Spatula City. We saw spatulas. And that's all. Erasing from memory and gone. Never really drove through this part of Mackinac City. It's kind of cool to see. I probably actually have. Probably with my friends in the summer of '97, or that was summer of '98. We did a bunch of us did a road trip all across Michigan for like a week. It was pretty cool to plan out. Definitely a lot of stories. There's a ton of bikes here. Wow. But man, when I came home from that trip, it's like my first trip with a bunch of friends. We had a good time, but I think I came home and told my brother I don't want to see those guys for a long time. My brother said, that's exactly what Dad said that you would say. Parents know. You get sick of each other, and when you're a kid, oh, I was supposed to go through there. When you're a kid, you just don't know how to deal with it, meet people, you know, like, just deal with people. All their intricacies. Oh, that's cool. Look at the view there. That's super cool. Hey, little Boxster. I like those things. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All the bikers that are like, got that, you know how they just got that look of like, fucking hate you. Why do some bikers have that? I don't know. I mean, I'm a preppy ass GS rider, so what the hell do I know? But sometimes people, they don't even like, they won't even wave back. Somebody like on, not always though. I don't want to give anybody a bad rap just based upon their motorcycle choice. I used to ride a Harley. You know what? I liked it. I liked my Dyna. Alright. Across the bridge. Here we go. If you've never ridden over the Mackinac Bridge, it is something. Thankfully the wind has calmed down quite a bit, or at least it feels like it has, but it is something. Like, you're approaching it. You're just approaching it for forever. I mean, granted, you're going 45 miles an hour, but the thing's 5 miles long. It's like, to that tower's got probably a mile, right? Like, maybe not at this, maybe at this point. It just takes so long until you get there. Out there is Mackinac Island. Oh, you can kind of see a ferry going out there. Yeah, you cannot stop on the bridge and take photos. Millions of people would do it. You know, I heard the story of the bridge was, you know, there was a ferry for the longest time, and you know, people that came to the UP were hunters and a little bit of tourism, I guess. And the story I'd heard is the state just never thought it worthwhile. It was going to be so expensive to build this bridge. It's slick. Those expansion joints are slick. Yeah, they just didn't think it worthwhile. It was going to be so expensive to build the bridge. And I think anyway, these private investors decided that they were going to do it, and they said, you know what, we think we're going to pay for the bridge. Here we are. We're coming up on the exact middle of it. Wow, it's so cool. So cool. So yeah, these investors did the calculations and they thought, you know what? The ferries were just, I guess maybe they were so filled up. It was kind of a choke point. They just thought, well, we can expand this and get even more people to come to the Upper Peninsula. And the bridge, oh gosh, was it in the 40s they built this thing? Here comes another expansion joint. Oh yeah. Oof. You know what it is? It grabs the tire a little bit. It's kind of like these grates. I'm gonna go ahead and stick off the grates today with all the wet. Sometimes you have to, but you can look down there. I don't know if you can see down there, but it is like straight down to the water. Yep. No thank you. I'm going a little too fast. Yeah, they charged, I think they charged $3 back then, which is a lot of money, right? People paid it. I don't know what the ferry cost, but I think it was maybe similar. Or maybe it was double the ferry. Maybe it was $1.50. I don't know. But they paid for the bridge within the first, few years or something. And today they still they just charge $4. I mean, how great is that? I think it's pretty cool. Mackinac Bridge, I think it's one of those proud things as a Michigander. You're like, that's part of my home state. What a cool thing. And just what a feat of engineering. I mean, it's just a marvel. And I suppose it's like going through a big doorway or something, or you just feel like, I mean, it's 5 miles to cross this thing. It just feels like you've really arrived somewhere, You pay the toll up here and you start going and you're like, oh man, I'm somewhere else. I'm in a new world. And you kind of are. The UP is a little different. Some people call it I like to call it a sort of mini Alaska. It's kind of Alaska, but on a small scale. Especially the further west you go, it's pretty special. Other people call it God's country. You know what? I mean, isn't everything God's country? But I get what they're saying. Okay, I'm gonna go over here because I'm gonna take a long time. Hey, how you doing? Good. Yeah, $4.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Have a good day. All right. Detour Village. Let's go. Oh, we're talking like 20 minutes. All right. Somehow I remember it being a half hour from the bridge, but yeah, no, negative. Oh, it's so cool. I love being in the Upper Peninsula. I mean, this was the result of a war over Toledo. And this was the consolation prize. That's the story we always got in grade school. If it is, man, we won out. I don't know if you've been to Toledo, but yeah, I'll take the UP. Nothing against Toledo. I mean, I hear Tony Paco's is pretty great, but I've never been, actually. Never been. The state police are all over it here. I feel like anywhere you can do about 10 over here and it's not a problem, so if it's 75, I just do 80. I don't know. Alright, so 20 miles, 22 miles. Oh, that was a cop, so I'm glad I'm doing 75. This thing's kind of neat. Something Rock, Castle Rock, that's right. Yeah, it's always a little tourist stop as a kid. Wow, Castle Rock! My friend said he would be home probably after 8. He's got work, but probably gonna get there pretty much just before 8. And with 45 minutes to spare on the 500 miles in 12 hours. So thinking about doing it, I gotta think more. I'll think more, and maybe I'll have a recap at the end of this, but thinking about doing 1,024 I have to plan it out more. I have to actually plan what the stops are going to be, the breaks, you know, so at least I have like I know if I'm falling behind or if I'm getting ahead, and kind of where I'm at relative to what I planned. I think if I can plan, it seemed like that did work pretty well, like the first stop being a half hour, a gas, not really a gas and go, just put a gas and, you know, use the restroom, grab something to drink, maybe a snack, okay, go. Maybe it was less than a half hour. Second stop was 50 minutes pretty much, so almost an hour. And then, yeah, the other stops were just to like literally just take the camera off and put the camera back on. That was it. So I did probably 2 of those. Well, no, I stopped in Rogers City. I stopped there for probably 20 minutes, and I just got food. I didn't even. So yeah, I stopped three actual like stops. So like a 20-minute stop, maybe a 30-minute, and then probably a 50-minute stop. But only 2 of them I gassed up on, and that's just because this tank is so big. I can just keep going. But I know the Iron Butt does have something about you have to stop at least every, I think, 150 miles or something like that. Maybe it's 300 actually. I forget. But a lot of people recommend really not to what is it? Just go all, you know, empty your tank. Just do like, oh, if you can do like 350 miles on a tank, just do 350 gas and then do another 350. Your body needs more brakes than that. You know, that makes sense to me. That's what I've heard others say. So that does make sense to me. I think the sun is actually shining just a little bit. Huh. Little kiss from the heavens. I like it. It's a wet kiss, but it's not always so bad either. Yeah, so I gotta think more about planning. I do want to do around Lake Michigan. That's kind of the goal, but I may even do it next weekend, but I think that might be too soon. I think I might have to do some more planning first to do that. So we'll see. But at any rate, yeah, 14 miles in about 17 minutes, according to the clocks here, to our final destination. So sign it up for now. We'll do a recap at the end, and I might even do it back home. Tomorrow I am gonna beeline it back home down 75, so that should take about 5 hours from here, and not the 12 that it took me to get up here. So, but I definitely took the long way, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. It was worth it. Man, what a long day, but you know, it was doable. It was doable. It really was doable. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't dilly-dally too much in those port towns in the Thumb. I can always go back and see those again. You know, like they're close, so it's probably 3 hours from my house, so that's not too bad. But yeah, that would have really taken some time off for sure. But at any rate, yeah, I'll be pulling into the town of Hessel, which is kind of a nice little town in and of itself. So I'm gonna pull in there, dry off, change into some dry clothes, maybe take a hot shower, and settle in for the evening, have a drink with a good friend, and yeah, tomorrow just gonna get up, go to church, and probably eat lunch and head back down. Long way up, short way down. Or is that a long climb for a short slide? It's worth it. Anyway, check back in a second. Heavy rain, it says. Exit 373. What exit am I getting off at? Ah! Okay, I just gotta say, I mean, I'm about to get off the freeway here. The last little bit of freeway. And I just feel at one with this machine. I mean, I know it's because I'm getting off right now. We're still going. Maybe I wouldn't feel the same way. But I am just like, this machine and I are in sync. I feel like I could just ride this thing another 500 miles. Just boom. Down the freeway. This thing is a mile eater. Absolute mile eater. It just absolutely tames the highway. Even in the rain, I mean, having the right gear really helps. I think I want to go. Yeah, so I want to make a right. I keep saying, talk to you in a minute, and it literally is like a minute later. I love that feeling though, when you pull into your final destination, and you're just like, man, I feel one with this machine. You just, oh, it's a good feeling. Such a good feeling. Yeah, the human-machine interaction is just, I guess maybe it's similar to a horse, like when you're a cowboy or something, or cowgirl. No question, no problems with that. Yeah, maybe it's just like sort of like similar. It's the modern-day equivalent of taming the horse and becoming friends with it. You know all its little intricacies, its ins and outs. You know what it does. You know why it does it. Yeah. It's good. I think there's actually a nice little view right here. Let's see. There's a view of the, that's the Pine River. Not much. I canoed the Pine River as a kid and almost died. So did several other Boy Scouts. Yeah. When the river is at flood stage and you're going canoeing with like 12-year-olds, maybe don't go. Maybe just go to a different river. Oh, you know what? Whatever. It was the 90s. We all lived. It was fine. No kids died. I mean, maybe almost died, but none of them died. Yeah. So yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. 4 miles.
This is that part of the journey where you feel like you can and want to keep going. I was very much grateful to arrive at Journey's End today. The mission was coming to an end, although I was tired. I felt good about the pace and the endurance built to be able to graduate to the Iron Butt Saddle Sore 1000, which is doing the 24 hours, 1,000 miles in 24 hours. So that'll be the next thing up, but today it was just so good to arrive in Hessel and so grateful again to come to Journey's End, to see a friend, and to be able to relax in just a short time.
Actually, Hessel. I think I can remember the house, I think. Oh yeah, no, it's right through here. I think this is it. Here we are. We did it. There it is. We did it. 513 miles. In less than 12 hours. How does it feel, you ask? You know what? It feels good. And the gin and tonic that's in that bag is going to taste good. And the chair that's right in there is going to be even better. Okay. Yes. The hair is amazing.
Welcome to the Upper Peninsula. We just did 513 miles. The goal was to do 500 miles, over 500 miles in 12 hours in preparation for doing an iron butt rally of 1,000 miles in 24 hours. All I gotta say is hell of a pace, and I don't know. So, made it. Did the 500 miles in under 12 hours. It wasn't that bad, actually. And I've done longer days in the saddle on other trips. And yeah, they're long, but they're doable. But thinking about the iron butt, like, is that doable? I mean, I know it's doable because people have done it. But it definitely just makes you realize, like, the endurance that you have to build, the planning that you have to, like, put together really to just to understand and know, like, where you're going, what your plan is, you know. And I think if you have that, it seems to me, mentally ready to go, and sort of like you're kind of a step ahead, so you can kind of stay ahead of yourself if you have a good plan set out. I think that's what the iron butt is going to be about, just about that planning and just kind of knowing what the next step is. And maybe that kind of keeps your mind occupied, and really too, especially planning the rest, because the rest is so needed. It was for this trip too. I mean, I had, I think, 3 or 4 stops really. There were actual rest stops, and they were needed. And a longer one was definitely needed. I did a 50-minute stop on this 500-mile trip, and that was necessary. The others were more like 15-minute stops. I think maybe a 15-minute, a 30-minute, and a 50-minute, something like that is what I did. I've got to imagine, and I've heard others too have done longer, like even planned like 2-hour stops for the iron butt, for doing the 1,000 miles in 24 hours. So that's one of the next challenges. I'm going to try to do it. The thing is, of course, do it safely. Do everything you do. I mean, have fun, have adventure. Be safety-minded as well. You know, even if adventure comes first, you know, if you will. I've talked about this before. I think safety is number one, obviously, in like industrial settings and that sort of thing. And it's extremely important. But are adventure and love more important than safety? I think there's a case to be made. But it doesn't mean safety's at the bottom. It means it's like a real close number 2, and really has got to be through your mind about what you're thinking about and what you're doing. So anyway, stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this series. I had a ton of fun making it, and I thoroughly enjoyed the ride up there, even though it rained that last little bit, but totally worth it. So stay tuned for the next challenge, which will be the iron butt. I also want to do Tail of the Dragon, so that probably will come up sometime soon too. But more to come. Thanks for watching. Take care.